Hey, it is an unstoppable day. Welcome to another episode of the Unstoppable Stories Show, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. I'm your host, Terrence Leftridge, with Unstoppable Coaching Services, where we help you focus more on what you're able to do and less on what's stopping you. And when we talk to people here on the show, that's what we're looking at. We're having them tell their stories, telling how they've been able to overcome obstacles in their lives, how they've been able to do things outside of the box and focus on those things that they are able to do in spite of the things that might be challenging them or stopping them in the world. And our guest is no different today. We are honoring him at our collaboration with She Exists magazine. She Exists magazine, created by the founder and editor in chief, Janelle Harris herself. And we'll give you more information about that later on today. But before we introduce our guests, let's show you a little clip about this phenomenal man who's doing great things in the medical field, working with young patients who he's meeting them at some of the most trying points in his life and in their lives. He's known as the dancing doc. It's physician assistant Maurice Tony Adkins.
All right, a social media sensation. You got to see this. Stopped by Hampton Roads yesterday to dance his way into the hearts of a few young patients at CHKD.
Photojournalist Michael Woodward shows us the dancing doctor and his moves that have now gone viral.
A lot of people have said that, I look at your videos and I was going through chemo. Your videos helped me get through a troubling time. Your videos have brought humanity back into medicine. I've seen, it's like millions of messages that I get daily. What's your name? Elijah. And I love taking care of kids. They're amazing. So I'm here just basically just kind of relating to the kids and see how I can help them. Oh my goodness, this T-Rex is crazy. One day, one of my kids I saw the glow in his eyes kind of leaving. So I just turned on some music, started dancing. His mom filmed it, put it on social media, and just kind of went from there. I see what it does for the kids, because you imagine being in a hospital in the walls and you can't leave. Kids are made to just explore and have fun outside, or we're in their natural environment. So what I do is I come in and kind of help them, just kind of relate to them as far as the laughing and giggling. And some of the parents haven't seen their kids laugh and giggle in a long time.
We have our trying moments. I mean, medication hasn't made him a typical 3-year-old, but we just roll with things as it comes along. Somebody who makes everything not so scary for them, it makes things a lot easier for them and for us, honestly, as parents.
It's a breath of fresh air to bring something so positive into medicine that has always been a negative connotation with medicine, and I love it.
Let's welcome to the Unstoppable Stories Show, pediatric neurosurgery physician assistant, Tony Adkins. Hey, Tony, how are you?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on the show today. I am so elated to be here today.
Well, we are so glad to have you here. And, he works at the Children's Hospital of Orange County. And, brother, I was looking at you while we were playing that clip, and I could just see the smile come over your face. It really seems like it warms your heart every time you see that video. But you tell us, how does that feel every time you get a chance to see the good work that you're doing?
It really is absolutely marvelous, to be able to see the glow in the kids' lives and then experience what I get to see all the time. And so when I see the video clips of me doing different things and then I get my interviews, and I just like, man, this is my purpose. I'm here for a reason. The man above put me here for a reason, to take care of his people. And I love it every day. It's a blessing.
I love it. And so, for clarity's sake, you are a physician assistant, not a a full-fledged doctor. And I believe you told me that Michael Strahan coined the phrase "the dancing doc." So for our audience that may not know the difference between a doctor and a physician's assistant, why don't you go ahead and explain that to us, and then tell us what you do at the Children's Hospital of Orange County.
Yeah, so medical doctor, they go to medical school for about 4 years, and then when they come out, they can be a general practitioner, or they have to go to a residency. And so residency could be anywhere from 3 years all the way to 7, 8 years, and those are more of the higher professions like neurosurgery. And so for me, I'm a physician assistant, and so I see patients, I diagnose and treat. I do everything that I would do underneath the supervision of a medical doctor, and so I work as a team, as a conduit between the nursing staff and the medical doctor, and we deliver really good healthcare, and we treat over 8 million people a year as physician assistants. Because physician assistants, so we're becoming high. We're getting more and more physician assistants within the United States, taking care of our patients, from primary care all the way to general surgery. And we just have a good time just loving the things that we do. We go to school for 2 years, and then we can do a fellowship or things after school, or we just go straight into primary care or surgery. But we love what we do, and we love our patients.
I love that. And thank you for giving that clarity. Now, the last part of what you said, it's what you do. But Tony, take a second to tell us who you are, because we know that you are more than just a physician's assistant. You're more than just the dancing doc on social media. Tell us, who's Tony?
So, as you know, I am African American, but I grew up in South Central Los Angeles, and it's pretty a rough part of Los Angeles. I was the youngest of two older brothers. My mom was a single mom. My dad was around, but sometimes in and out. And so my older brothers, they were involved in gangs in Los Angeles, and I stayed indoors and was playing with my toys, and I would go outside just here and there. But to kind of take me away from that environment that I grew up in, where it was a lot of gun violence, police activity, helicopters, ambulance. I just turned on the music because my brothers had a boom box, and I turned on the music just to listen to K-Day when it was out. Long time ago, and I would just listen to all the music that we would hear from the rap that came from South Central Los Angeles and LA area, all the way to the ones that came from New York. And then I would look at VH1, MTV when they had videos, and so I would emulate all the different things that they did, but to take me out of that environment that I grew up in, because it was very hard trying to stay on a straight and narrow path. But my mom didn't want me to go outside because she knew what was going to be going on, because my brothers are always out there doing all their do. But, I am a father. I have two beautiful girls. I just came back actually last night from DC, because my oldest is at Howard University, and I'm so proud of her. She's done more than I have done when I was her age. And my other,
represent.
Beautiful. Yes, she is.
Yeah, my niece graduated from Howard University. So go Bisons. Congratulations. Yes. What year is she there?
This is her freshman year, so she just started. Spanking new.
Okay, well, congratulations on that. So with all that you do, you are an extremely busy man. How do you find time to just relax and just soak in all this notoriety that you've been getting recently?
Yeah, so the way I just kind of just relax, sometimes it's hard, because when you take so many things on, I am a father, I'm a husband, I see my patients here, and then I do my social media things. So, sometimes I have to kind of, pause. And the way I pause, I take my daughters to Disneyland a lot. We go on vacations a lot, and so I do a lot of reading, and so those are my pauses. And so but sometimes it's very hard because I am a person that likes to go, go, go.
Yeah,
And it's a hard task to kind of slow somebody down that, they don't really rest until they hit their head on the pillow.
I got you. We're hanging out with Tony Adkins, physician assistant, pediatric neurosurgery on the Unstoppable Story Show. He's AKA the Dancing Doc on social media. And so let's jump into that a little bit. You're working with these young clients, these young patients at some of the most trying points in their lives, I can imagine. How did it springboard from that into this social media sensation that you become now as the Dancing Doc? Take us through that journey.
Yeah, so I had one child that I was seeing for quite a bit. He had childhood leukemia when he was little, and he beat that. But then afterwards, he started having a different type of neural complication or result of his leukemia and treatments. And so he was in the hospital for a long stretch. So in pediatrics, you're in a hospital, you don't come in and then you leave. You come in and you stay, and they kind of do a long, extended period of time. And so he was in the hospital, and every day I would go see him when I would round, and I would notice that the glow in his eyes was slowly kind of going away. And it took me back to when I was a little kid, when I grew up in my neighborhood, and I utilized music and dance as a form to kind of escape. And so I said, the next time I go into his room, I'm gonna throw in some music and I'm just gonna see what I can do. And so when I went to his room the next day, I turned on "Can't Touch This" by MC Hammer. I started dancing. I was like, "Dude, you got to come on, get up, get up!" And I was just dancing. And he got up. He's like, "All right, Tony." So he got up. He started dancing. He started laughing. His mom filmed it. She put it on social media, and then from there, it just like spread like wildfire. And ever since then, it's become a tool of mine to utilize to take care of my kids, to assess them and see what they can do, what they can't do, get them laughing, get them motivated to want to move forward. Because physical therapy is great, but when you have somebody that is doing things that they really love to do, just laugh and have a good time and love music, you do it better. Because a lot of kids say, "Okay, I'll get up and walk around, walk here, walk there," but when they see that they have some music going on, they get to laugh and dance. It's a no-brainer.
I know, and the classic "Can't Touch That." It's kind of
That's
you
right.
just da 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 da.
I
I mean,
put
you
it
just
on
got to
it.
start doing something. But are
Yes.
you was dancing something that you did as you grew up as a child, or how was that the first thing that you decided to do?
Yeah, because when I was a little kid, I used to watch all those videos on VH1 and MTV, and I just used to dance. And then, like my cousin and I, when we would get together with our families during holidays, we would actually just like, all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna perform for them, but they ain't gonna know what we're gonna perform. So we used to go in the back and put on some weird stuff, and then
You had the
we come
parachute
out with.
pants, Tony. Come on, you
Yeah,
had the
oh yeah,
parachute
oh yeah,
pants.
of course. I had the Kwame polka dots, man. I was on it.
Okay,
So,
you knew the dance.
oh yeah, man. I was like,
Okay, all
I
right.
was one of his
I
dancers in
see
my
you.
mind. so,
Okay.
so yeah, so we used to perform for our family during like holidays just to get a laugh, and so we had a good time doing it.
Well, that's cool. But and when we think about doctors or when we think about physicians assistants, we think very stiff, very rigid, very matter of
Mhm.
fact. Was that your demeanor when you started this, or have you always had that kind of laid back attitude about medicine and the way you work with your patients?
Yeah, so when I first started, especially when I was in class, I was doing you get standardized patients, and then you talk to them. And so one of my instructors is like, "Tony, you have a really good personality. When you're in class, you're laughing and having a good time in class. I want you to do that with your patients, because when you do that, you're going to release a whole different world, and you're going to have a good time, and they're going to enjoy your company." And so I took that to heart. And so when I first started, it's kind of rigid because I didn't know where I could go, how much I can release of my personality because I got a big personality, as you already know. And so once I got, really comfortable, I just exploded. And there was this is Maurice Anthony Atkins, as my mom would call me if she's upset at me. I exploded into Tony Atkins. And so I was like,
Your
I'm
alter
doing it.
ego, huh?
Yeah, I was doing it, man. And so it's this, there's a time and a place to be serious. You
Yes.
can't just be very, come in nonchalant and just be having a good time all the time. You have to be very serious at different times. But when it's time to release the dancing doc, PA stands for Party Animal Tony Atkins, then it's time to go.
Okay,
That's what I
okay.
do.
I think we have a new moniker. We're gonna lose the dancing doc, and we're just gonna be Tony Atkins, the party animal.
That's right.
All
The
right.
PA stands for.
The MPA, the medical party animal.
That's
Okay,
right.
I love it. I love it. Well, you know what? As in any profession, and working with any client, any patient, any mentor mentee type of relationship, you always want to be able to relate to your clients. And I think the best form of building that type of relationship is to come in and be yourself, because if I can relate to you as Tony, then I'm going to be able to relate to you as physician assistant Tony. If I can relate to you in the easygoing conversation, then I'm going to be more open to having that difficult conversation with you when it comes to your medical diagnosis and the treatment plan that comes after that. So I'm really glad, and I know our editor in chief, Janelle Harris, that's one thing that she really admired about you when she saw all of your interviews. And as she will say, she was like stalking you from afar. That's one of the things that really stand out. So, and to see a man of color that looks like me doing that makes me personally proud. So I want to thank you for that. So we're going to take a real quick break. We just talked about Janelle Harris. She's the editor in chief of She Exists magazine, and we're going to be honoring Tony Atkins for the work that he's doing in the community in one of our upcoming issues of She Exists magazine. Now, you might be saying to yourself, what is She Exists magazine? Well, watch this real quick promo, and then we'll be right back. You're watching the UnStopable Stories Show.
Is your fashion, your inspiration.
She Exists magazine's presence is most definitely being felt all around the globe.
New York, Florida, LA, DC, Puerto Rico, and as far as Australia. The hottest in fashion, music, and entertainment. SheExistsMagazine.com. Subscribe today.
Yes, She Exists magazine, a magazine that is designed, the mission to empower and to encourage women, all walks of life, and to help build a stronger sense of self-worth. That's our mission here at She Exists magazine, and I am glad to be one of the contributing authors in the magazine. Our winter issue is coming up in November, and we're going to have our release party on November 12th here in Tampa, Florida. So if you want to be a part of the in-person crowd, if you want to be there for all the glitz and glamour that goes along with releasing the new magazine, then come on over to our She Exists release party, November 12th, 2022 in Tampa, Florida. On the screen, you see the website where you can go get your tickets right now to have your face in the place. It's www.sheexistsmagazine, www.sheexistsmagazine. We want you to definitely be there so that you can experience our release party for the upcoming issues. And it's a flip cover because we are going to have a cover queen on the front page, and we're going to have a cover queen on the back page representing all walks of life. We're going to be featuring our realtor, corporate and residential realtor, Carol Bettinger, and you can see her cover on the screen. And then we're also going to be featuring another Florida native, our friend Sabrina Protic, the financial coach. So you definitely want to be a part of this release party. They're both going to be there live and in person. So just go ahead and get your tickets going over to www.sheexistsmag.com and get your tickets. And we'll see you in Tampa on November 12th. Well, we're welcoming back our guest for this show. It's the dancing doc, or the medical party animal, PA Tony Adkins. How are you, Tony?
I'm doing great, my friend. Thank you once again for having me here. I am just ready to get this going. I love it. I love the energy.
I love it too, and you're bringing it to. If I had the soundtrack of "You Can't Touch This," I'd be playing it in the background.
Right.
But there's some copyright issues that go along with that.
Yes.
Segueing into the mission, I just explained to you that the mission for She Exists magazine is to encourage and empower women and help readers to build a stronger sense of self-worth. Now, it's mainly a women's magazine, but we do have men in the magazine as well. You have two daughters. You mentioned it earlier. So how does it feel for you to be a part of this magazine and being someone that encourages and empowers women just like your two daughters?
Yeah, so it's paramount to have something like this, because having my two daughters and knowing that they are pretty much sometimes in different places are the only African American women there, and I want to make sure they know that they're important just like everybody else around them, and so making sure that they know that they need to be seen and heard, and their views need to be seen and heard, and not having their views being dampened by somebody else in the room. So they're very smart. They're very motivated. Like I said, very motivated, more than what I was, where I started from. But they are going to be some really good leaders as they continue to move through this life.
Well, you know what they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So whatever seeds you have planted in them, now you're seeing that manifestation in their lives as they continue to grow. So congratulations on the job that you've been doing with your daughters. But now let's speak about your daughters, the female patients you may run into, all the patients you deal with, and especially the parents that you deal with when treating your patients.
Yeah.
What is your hope for other women, for other children, and for the parents who you get to help in some shape or form each and every day? What's your hope that they'll get out of you being a part of this She Exists magazine compilation?
Yeah, so I just hope that they see something like this and they know that their daughters can excel and do things more than they were able to do 50 years ago. So I stress to my young little ladies that I see, I call them my little girlfriends, that they're important. They can move mountains. They just need to put their mind to it. And I tell this to my girls all the time, just letting them know that, you guys don't need nothing else in life other than to know that you exist, know that you're important, know that you can do anything that everybody else around you can do. And don't limit yourself on the abilities that you have, because you have it here. You just got to put it out there and keep it moving forward. And I do that to all of my little girlfriends that I talk to. And then I try to, when I'm doing this, my patients' families, I make sure they're understanding that, I'm here to take care of their kids, and especially the ones that, near misses, the near misses, those are the ones that, it could have went really south. And I tell them, I say, somebody above was watching you. And now it's time for you to change the world, because they saved you. And I'm here to tell you that somebody saved you. And this could have been very bad. And so those are the talks that I give to my my little girls, as well as the little boys, and tell them that, you know, you need to change the world, and now is the time to go forward.
I love it. Those are great words of wisdom. Those are great goals to want to achieve with each and every patient, as well as their parents, because, you know, kids, they are resilient. They, this, in my experience, despite what diagnosis they may be dealing with, what pain they may be going through, some of the main things that they want to do in life is they want to get through the treatment and then go play. But then the parents, they're like, oh, and pins and needles and oh, my baby, what's going to happen, anxiety and everything. So being able to have that skill to not only relate to your patients, but also relate to their parents that are in a whole different state of flux at that time, that takes skill, and it looks like you have that skill in spades. So thank you for that. You guys were hanging out with Tony Adkins, the physician assistant with the Children's Hospital of Orange County. He is AKA the Dancing Doc. And we're going to take another break, and then we're going to come back with some closing thoughts here on the Unstoppable Stories Show. But for any of you who are interested in maybe starting your own speaking career, maybe you are doing something just as fabulous as the Dancing Doc is, but you don't know how to get your message out to the masses. You don't know how to put your message together in a powerful signature presentation that is not only going to motivate and encourage your audience, but it's going to move them to action. Well, we've got you covered. I am so proud to have partnered with this group called Becoming the Best You. And we are sponsoring an 8-week Becoming the Best Speaker Academy. You want to hear a little bit about it? All right, here we go. You're watching the Unstoppable Stories Show. Hey, it is an unstoppable day. You know, preachers preach, teachers teach, and speakers speak. And whether I am speaking from my office doing videos like this virtually, or whether I am speaking at resorts doing retreats, whether I am speaking at family events, or whether I am speaking in front of large audiences, speakers speak, and that's what we do. But depending on those situations, you may not have the confidence, you may not have the skills, or you may not have those necessary tools to be able to speak effectively in each one of those different arenas. Well, we've got you covered here at the Becoming the Best Speaker Academy. Yes, Becoming the Best Speaker Academy. We have an 8-week speaker course where we will help you get the tools, the tips, and the strategies to not only become a better speaker, but to learn the business of speaking so that you can be effective in all those different arenas that I just told you about. I'm blessed to be able to be a speaker. I'm blessed to be able to be an MC, but I didn't learn those skills overnight. I had to get the training. I had to get the strategies. I had to get the tools to make me a more effective speaker. And we want to share those tools with you as well. So if you are a new speaker, if you are a new author, or if you're a new entrepreneur and you're looking to add speakers into your toolkit to make you a more effective entrepreneur, speaker, or author, then we invite you to come on over to www.btbspeakers.com, www.btbspeakers.com, and sign up for our next course, which is starting soon. Who knows, in 8 weeks, you could become the best speaker that you were created to be. Absolutely. So if you're looking to just be a better speaker in your own personal development, or if you're looking to start a career as a professional speaker, then this is the course for you. You see scrolling on the screen right now, you can join the best, becoming the best speaker academy now by going over to the website www.btbspeaker.com. The classes are starting real soon, so the universe awards those who takes action when, not now, but right now. So right now, go on over to btbspeaker.com and sign up and register to become the best speaker you can be. All right, so we're coming to our closing segment here at the Unstoppable Story Show, and we've been having a great time with the medical party animal. That's the new moniker we're going with. Physician assistant Tony Adkins. Welcome back, Tony.
Thank you. Thank you.
We've been having a great time, and we could talk forever, but we only have so long on the show. So here's my opportunity to ask you, do you have any other projects coming up, any books out there, any events that our audience needs to know about, or how can they just simply get more of Tony Adkins?
Yeah, so I've been working on a autobiography of just my life, how I was raised and how I matriculated through education and how I ended up here. So I've been in the works with that this summer with a coach to kind of help me get it written, as well as trying to continue to do the things of outreach and talking to our inner city kids. Going to different children's hospitals and talking to their staff and how they can kind of meet the patients and the parents at their level. And I do a lot of things on my social media accounts, which is in Instagram is going to be T_Malone, MALONE, the number 3. The reason why I chose T Malone, because I thought it was pretty funny when I saw the weatherman. So I was like, I'm gonna do a weatherman name. But then after 10,000 followers, unfortunately, you can't change the name. So I kind of got stuck with it. So
Okay.
And then on Facebook, it's just Tony Adkins, and you'll find me. And so those are things that I am really kind of taking on and kind of going forth and trying to start like a nonprofit to kind of make or bring in some type of monetary thing to help those parents that are stuck in our hospital for so long with kids that have different ailments that require them to be in the hospital more than 3 or 4 days, because you can imagine, you have to stop working,
Right.
and you have to start focusing on your child that is in the hospital, and you got other children that are at home and they need your assistance too. They need you too. And so it's hard. It's a very hard task that to be pulled away from the normal life, and now you're in the hospital life, and you can't do much else. And so things got to still run while you're still doing different things in the hospital, as far as bills, food, gas, all that stuff. And so that's what I'm trying to do, something for that.
That hospital situation is challenging mentally, physically, and financially. And I love that the ideal of what you want to create, sort of like a St. Jude's model that you want to create for your patients and your clients in your own nonprofit. So I look forward to hearing more about that and whatever we can do here at the Unstoppable Story Show and She Exists magazine to help you in that endeavor. Please let us know about that.
I will.
And we just want to again thank you, applaud you, salute you for what you are doing in your community to help your little patients as well as their parents get through some of the most difficult times of their life. Get through it not only successfully, but get through it with a smile. So thank you so much, Tony. We're going to put up on the screen again how you can get in contact with him. You can reach out to the dancing doc, the medical party animal, on IG at T_Malone3, or you can check him out on his Facebook page at Facebook.com/Tony Adkins PA. And of course, the PA stands for physician assistant. We appreciate you, my brother. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for spending time with us here at
It's a
the
pleasure.
Unstoppable Story Show. And feel free, hang on after we end the show. I want to talk to you about a couple of things, but you are welcome to come back to the show anytime, okay?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity. As a little kid, you never know how far you're going to go. And then you land in something that you never even thought of. And then now I'm here talking to you. It's like, I can't believe it. Sometimes you never know what your cards are going to deal.
Absolutely. And that's a perfect segue to our ending. It is a wrap for this episode of the Unstoppable Story Show, but I want to leave you with this. As kids, we dream. That's some of the things that we do. We dream the impossible dream. We dream of being astronauts. We dream of being doctors. We dream of being on TV, but we never dream that some medical condition or ailment is going to strike us at such a young age. The little patients that Tony deals with on a daily basis, they're going through things that even as adults, we don't even imagine. But the one thing they have is they have resilience, and they have that youthful joy that only a child can bring, that allows them to be able to overcome that trying point in their life and still go through every day with a smile. Imagine if us adults had that same energy, had that same type of thought process as we go through our everyday lives as an adult. When you live through life through the eyes of a child, you can begin to dream again. You can begin to hope again. And you can begin to focus more on what you're able to do in spite of the things that are stopping you. And that is an unstoppable thought. So until we meet again, I'm your host, Terrence Lefteridge. This is the Unstoppable Story Show. And you know what I say, don't just make it a great day. Go out and make it an unstoppable day. And we'll talk to you real soon.